right, so now we're on page 11 in our math journal, and we're going to use our 3 methods to work on this page. So, we are looking at number 1, and it said read the number stories and choose an appropriate estimation strategy. So, one of these. So, look at number 1. Workers in a toy factory make stuffed bears. The goal is to make at least 1,200 bears every 3 hours. In 1 hour, they made 447 bears. In the next hour, they made 453 bears. And in the third hour, they made 458 bears. Okay? So, then our question is, did they make their 3-hour goal? So then they want us to say how we got our answer. So first off, we're going to use, so these are the numbers that they made at each hour. Now we're going to choose a strategy. So what of these 3 strategies, the rounding, front end, or close to estimation, which one do we want to use? Mary?
The rounding estimate.
Okay, let's try rounding. Is it okay if when you guys are doing your homework, if Mary picks a different one than Bella? Is it okay? Unless it says a specific kind?
Yes.
Yes. If it says you can choose, then you can choose, right? So Mary chose rounding. So we're going to round to the nearest 100. Actually, let's round to the nearest 10th because they all start with 4. Okay? So let's round to the nearest 10th, okay? So I'm going to keep my 4 the same. And I'm looking at this, right? These are my numbers I'm changing or keeping. So if I'm looking at this 4, I need to check my 7. 7 means I'm going up or down. Everyone, up or down? Up. So my 4 becomes a 5. And anything after it becomes a 0. Now we're keeping our front number, our 4. Now we're looking at this 5. Are we going to go up or down? Down. We're going to keep it a 5. And anything after it becomes a 0. Now we're going to keep our 4. And we're looking at our 5. Are we going to go up or down? Up, and it becomes a
6.
Anything after it becomes a 0. So we have 0 plus 0 plus 0, right?
Yes.
Now we have 5 plus 5 is
10.
plus 6 is
16.
16. So we're going to put a 6, and then I'm just going to put an add 1 over here just so we can see it. 1 plus 4 is
5.
plus 4
9.
plus 4.
13.
13, good. So using our rounded, we got 1,360. Their goal was 1,200. So did they make their goal?
Yes.
Yes. So where it says, did they reach their goal, you're going to say yes. And then it says, how did you get your answer? That is where you're going to write this. You're going to put this number, like this number sentence. Okay?
Both of them?
Just this one, just the pink one. Put that number sentence on that line. Number 1, Keegan. You put yes on the little line, and then this goes on the big line.
Are we still on number 1?
Yes. Okay, so now look at part C. Why did you choose this estimation strategy? So, Mary, you chose it. Why did you choose this one? Why would we choose rounding for this one? Who has an idea? Bella?
Because maybe she thought rounding was easier than some of the other ones,
Okay.
and because we've been talking about rounding instead of the
Right. We couldn't really just do the front end, right? Because they all are the same front end. We rounded, but we were able to choose where we were rounding. So we could have used rounding or close to in this one, right? So pretty much in your own words, you need to write on part C, the rounding method allowed us to get a closer answer than some of the other options or strategies. So in your own words, put something along those lines of the rounding method gave us a closer answer than some of the other options. Write that down in part C. All right, now look at number 2, okay? Stella is saving up to buy a bicycle that costs $250. She has saved $96 so far, and her aunt gave her another $48. So we need to see about how much more money does Stella need, okay? So, what is a method that we could use? Do we really want to use the front end method? No. And let's try the close to because we already did the rounding. So let's try close to, okay? So, we know overall she needs $250, right? She already has 96. So we can subtract that from the total that she needs. And then her aunt gave her $48 more, right? So, she's not going to spend any. She's saving it all. So, $250 is already close to $250, right? Because it is $250. So that one we can just keep the same. What is 96 close to? Ben, what's it close to? 100. And what's 48 close to, Bella? 50. So if we take 250 and we subtract 100, what do we have left? Bella?
150.
150. And Samara, if I subtract 50 from 150, how much do I have left? 100. So she needs about $100 left. Okay, write that on the answer for part A. It says, about how much does she need left? About $100. Part B says, how did you get your answer? That's where you're going to write this blue number sentence. Okay? Now, when we are looking at part C where it says why did you choose this strategy? Well, the numbers they gave us were pretty good numbers to see what it was close to, right? So sometimes the problem just makes sense to choose a specific strategy, right? So you need to write along the same lines of, given the numbers from the problem, the close to strategy was our best option. Write something like that, okay? Based on the problem, from the numbers we were given, the close to option was our best strategy, okay? Something like that. It doesn't have to be word for word. Okay, so you should have finished problem number 2. When you get done with that, you are going to go ahead and get out your home links. Leave this book open because you're going to do math boxes after your home links. The math box is on page 12. But go ahead and get out home links and turn to page, is it 15?
Yeah.
Okay, page 15 in home links. Get out home links, page 15. Make sure your name is on it. If it's in a book and you're in class, go ahead and rip it out. If it's in a book and you're in at home, leave it in your book. 15. Okay. So, you are going to read the number stories and choose the appropriate estimation strategy. So those are our rounding. At the very beginning, we talked about our rounding estimation, our front-end estimation, and our close to estimation. And there's an example of each over here, or you can rewind the video. And then you are going to answer these questions just like we did in the book, okay? We answered the question, we put our number sentence on how we found it out, and then we answered why we chose it, okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You do need to do the practice on the bottom. It's just adding. If you need more room, flip it over, do your work on the back, and put your answer on the problem, okay? When you are done with home links, then you need to do math boxes on page 12. Any questions? All right, when you are done, turn in home links. I'm looking at home links.